Hello, my name is Jay Ice, and today I'm going to be demonstrating IwSpline and how it can be used in order to generate foliage on foliage, forest, whatever you want actually. So without further ado, let's get started. As you can see, we've already got foliage placed onto the landscape. We've got hills and all of that. And so let me go ahead and show you a couple of things that we're capable of doing here. If we go ahead and select it and we move our spline up, and we'll see that all of the foliage came back to the landscape. Okay, of course you can also take it and just bury the whole thing and it will all come back as well. And I personally like to have my splines, somewhat close to where everything is located at. And let's just slide it back there a little bit, slide it down. That's a good spot for it, per se. And you can see that the cactus, it's moving all around and adjusting itself to the landscape. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to use IwSpline to build something like this. This is by far not all that IwSpline can do, but that's what we're going to demonstrate tonight. So let's go ahead and get this pulled back a little bit, slide this spline out, go ahead and get it out of our way there in the background. And what we're going to do now is we'll drag out a new blueprint, go ahead and place it there. And what we want to do is we want to create ourselves essentially an imaginary box, if you will. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. And grab him, hold down our Alt key, bring our box over, adjust our view a little bit, bring our box out again, hold down the Alt key again, and we'll back out. Now we have ourselves a box. So what we want to do is come down here to where we have what I call a collection. Collection is a collection of static meshes. Okay, so we'll give ourselves a collection name here and we'll call it cactus. And scroll down to where I've got a couple of cactuses at. Put one in. Well, we won't do it right there. Now we'll put one in. And we still don't have anything displaying on our spline. That's okay, because we're going to take care of that right now. And we come up here, put ourselves in a new element into the array of items or a static mesh that will be displayed at each spline point, and we'll just put in our collection name, cactus, and now we have 4 cactus. And you're sitting there going, oh, whoopee dingo. Well, okay, just hang on. Now we want to go ahead and fill this imaginary box with spline points so that we have a cactus generated at each one. And we have got a border that can be put around each static mesh as it's being defined. We've also got a jiggle. So at this point in time, let's not go ahead and do anything with the border or the jiggle. Let's just tell it to fill it. Okay, so we have got it all nice and filled, and we've got something that looks more like a garden than what we're really after in this. So just Control-Z, back it up, and we'll come down here and we'll say we won't do anything with border, although we could. That would be fine. But what we really want to do is we want to generate our spline points in more of a random fashion. So we'll give it 100 for X and let's say 500 for Y. And now we're going to want to fill our area. And as you can see, we got a lot more random going on at this point in time. Things are starting to move around. The bigger we make those 2 values that we just put in, the more randomness that we'll get. So we can back out again, come down here, and instead of saying 500, let's go out to 800. And on X, let's go to 200. And now we want to fill our area. Now things are actually really starting to move around a bit, which would be good enough for what we're demonstrating. Now, let's go ahead and play around with random location. This is a second random generator, so that essentially we have one right on top of the other. The first one set up the random points. Now we're going to start moving the static mesh itself around, okay? So what we'll want is, again, we come up here on our X. Let's say that we want to be able to go 100 back. So we put in a negative 100. For Y, we'll set it here and we'll say another 500, which means that within negative 100 behind the spline point, 500 on the Y, okay, within that imaginary square, okay, we can generate the particular static mesh. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now they've moved around some more. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit more spread. We still have clustering, but it actually starts looking, you know, somewhat like you'd actually see out in the wild. We can sit here and click on this all day long till we get what we want. Also notice up here that it's displaying how many static meshes it's generating. Well, that's fine. What if we don't want them to be static meshes? Okay, if we want them to be instant static mesh, we just click this button, and there we can see that we actually still generated one static mesh, and but now we've got 76 instant static meshes in there. Okay, now we just go ahead, grab IwSpline, we shove him back here. We wanted something like that per se, and now of course it's all buried. That's not going to be very good. So we come down here and we say, all right, just adjust the static mesh to the landscape. And now we're right back to something like we moved out before. Okay? And let me go ahead and change the camera speed up here up to 6. And we can see. Okay? Now, if we wanted to regenerate this, we could do that as well, but at this point in time, we're able to reach, you know, we can still do the up and down, all of that good sort of stuff going on. Or we can slide it back. We want more. We can grab it and we can move it over, because it's all going to follow. Okay? But, you know, seeing how we had it located the way we did when we started, we'll move it back to there. And let's move it forward a little bit more so we get some cactus up here on this quote-unquote hill. And there you have it. Okay? And, you know, that if you're not talking, it goes a heck of a lot faster, you know. And but that demonstrates what we want. And if we want our static meshes back, we can have them back, okay? Or we can go to instant static mesh. Let us say at this point in time that we want to have more than one thing generated, okay, at each spline point. Well, we can do that. Let's go over here and grab ourselves a palm tree. Now we have palm trees being generated as well, okay? And what you'd want to do after you do that to get the palm trees to move around a bit is let's go ahead and regenerate, okay, those jiggle amounts, etc., and we're done. I thank you for your time, and I hope that you have a great day.